Everyone, and welcome to the LEGO Spaz 12 step-by-step tutorial. So the main aspect of this is that we're going to be building it in small sections and then assembling it at the end. But without further ado, let's dive right in. At this point, we should have everything built, and it may look like we're done, but we have to assemble everything and put it all on this mainframe. So let's do that. So once we've cleared a good space away, the first thing that we actually have to do is to disassemble the mainframe a little bit. And what we first do is start by taking off these two panels here. Now they should come off as one piece. If they don't, that's fine. You can always take them apart as little bits. And then we're going to remove these two Technic parts here. And then once those are removed, we can then remove the other panel on the other side. And now we're just going to take off this little top part here, and we're going to disassemble it using these 3 connection points. And it should pop off with a little bit of help. Once you do that, you can then flip it over and remove the upper portion out of the way. And now we can start adding things onto this receiver, starting with the barrel. So we're going to go ahead and look into the receiver. We're going to see these couple of studs here, and those are going to be the connection points for the barrel. And we can actually see in the barrel that there are some openings in the Technic holes or Technic pieces that we can attach it to. So once you do that, it should line up like so. And then we're going to take our magazine tube extension, and we're just gonna kind of stick it in like so. You might need to wiggle it in there a little bit. It's not a perfect slide in, but once we have that, next thing that we can do is the bolt. Now this guy, before we put him in, we have to add the 2 little submodels. These 2 guys here, and these are probably the most important parts of the gun, because it wouldn't really function without these. So we're just going to add these on upside down like so. And then once that is done, just like that. Once that is done, we can now put the bolt in, and it does have to go in a fairly specific way. You just have to slide it in the groove on the left side of the gun. And it should fit nice and snug right there. And then we can now put the upper portion of the receiver on top of that. Now, before we do anything else, we have to add these tiles to secure the upper portion of the receiver to the rest of the gun, because the bolt will want to force that up. We don't want that. So these tiles help secure everything in place. So you're just going to put this tile on those 2 connection points. And then same thing on the other side. It will get in the way of those brackets with the tiles on them, but that's okay. That's totally normal. And then we're going to put another one right here with these 2 connection points. And this one's probably the most important one, and it may pop off after a few rounds have been fired through this thing. That's fine. That's totally normal. Now we can start putting on the little side panels and the Technic parts overlapping the barrel. And we can just do that just like so. And once that is in place, put this last one on there. Now we can start attaching the forearm, and this will basically work the mechanism of the shotgun. And this is the bottom plate, and to attach the side panels to this, you can pop them on just like so. And then to fill the gaps, if you want, you can put cheese slopes. Just makes it look nicer. It's not necessary by any means, but this is just what I chose to do, and you can do that for both of the panels. And then you're going to take the left panel, and you're going to put that on first. It should connect to the bolt with the little Technic pins with stud connectors, I believe is what they're called. And then we can then attach the other side of the forearm along with the bottom piece onto the rest of the shotgun, just like that. And then here is the trigger guard, which is the last tiny little submodel. You can see it attaches there, and then you can curve it like so. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. That's just how I like it. And then lastly, we can do the stock. Now, I don't know how I forgot to do this, but you need to add 1x3 inverted slopes on the end of each of the two little stock pieces. I apologize, I don't know how I forgot to do that, but those are kind of important. So we can just kind of stick that on there with those two pins at an angle, and then push it down on the axle connecting it to the gun, and then do that on both sides. And now we can add these 1/2 bushings to kind of secure it in place. And then you're going to take another one and do the same thing on the other side. Now, I don't recommend using this stock or folding it out because it's not the most stable thing, but it does look pretty awesome when it is folded up. And how you can do that is just fold it up here, and then it locks in place with this little 1x4 axle with a stop, and it goes down in that little hole that is right next to the iron sight, just like that. And there you go. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to have lots of fun with this thing. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to help you as best I can. And until next time.